think pacification is the letting go of the male.
Letting go of the male? Willingly letting go of the male?
No, well, I think it just happens like a frog in water where you slowly turn up the heat.
That's good.
Leave your sensibilities at the door. It's time for Carl and Mike.
Welcome to Carl and Mike. It's the Carl and Mike Show.
I'm Mike.
I'm Carl. We're finally here.
Yeah, it is. It's been
Episode Uno.
Yeah, this is
7 years in the making.
And this is kind of a prequel.
It's a prequel and a sequel. Because we've been here for 7 years.
7 years we've been doing this.
And finally got off our ass and decided to record it.
And you're asking yourself, why have you never heard of us before now? Well, you've never heard of us because we've never recorded it.
Actually, probably all our audience right now has heard of us.
Well,
because
yeah,
of our friends
that's probably
and family.
true. Yeah.
This is the one show they're going to listen to.
Hi, Mom.
Hi. After this, they're going to go, oh, yeah, we already know these guys.
Yeah, we don't need to listen to any more of their bullshit.
Exactly, because we hear it every day.
Yes.
But we're glad you're here.
Yeah.
And for all of you who don't know us, we're glad you're here. And we don't know what the hell we're doing here.
And but whatever we do, we're going to try and get you to stick around.
Exactly. So we've been getting a little bit of our history. We've been sitting together. We're friends, go way, way back. And about 7 years ago, we were both working from home with lack of human contact. And our wives said, go talk to somebody. And I think, please get out of the house. And so we said, okay, we know each other, and let's have coffee.
Yeah, so this was part of our It's the resocialization of Carl and Mike.
Yes.
Trying to get out. Because, working out of the house, everybody wants to work out of the house, or a lot of people have the dream of doing that, working for yourself and working out of the house. And it is good. There is a lot of freedom to it. But at least in our case, or my case, I'm going to speak for myself, you do get you get cabin fever. You do get cabin fever. You need to be around people more. And so after, Jesus, I don't know how many years of doing that, it was time to break out. And so this was the year that we did this was 2007.
I believe that.
Yeah,
is correct.
It was as we're the build up to the first election.
Yes. Back when Obama was just a dream.
Just a dream. Somebody's dream. Not even our dream necessarily, but we. So we got out and bounced around a bunch of different. What you're hearing in the background is we're at a restaurant, and so that's where we always are. We've been to different restaurants. We kind of like this one for now. You'll probably hear different restaurants. We may bounce around. Who knows where we're going to be from? But anyway, we just started talking about, at that point, politics.
Yeah. And then we talked about our lives, and then we talked about relationships. We talked about just really whatever came up. And that's kind of what this show really has. It's a show now, meaning that you're here.
Yeah.
But we really come into these conversations mostly unscripted. We don't know what we're going to talk about, and we just start talking. And what I really love about, the conversations we've had over the years is just that. They're interesting to me, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about.
No, and it's kind of a learning deal. As we've gotten to know each other over the years, we talk about various subjects that probably a lot of y'all don't talk to other people about much. And we found that real helpful for us as we kind of, talk through various things that's going on in our lives, personally or professionally or with friends, spouses. Hello, Anita.
Hello, Suzanne. And also, I think, it's messy. Our conversations are messy. In other words...
as life is.
As life is.
It does turn out messy, doesn't it?
It does.
Nobody tells you that going in. If somebody told you life was going to be messy and kind of fucked up at times, would you go, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to...
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing I think is it's kind of a thinking out loud process. So...
Yeah.
The other thing I think you'll find on this is we question a lot of stuff that maybe people don't necessarily question. as rigorous as we do. A lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. And I think we want to. I like challenging my own thinking, and we question a lot of things. So we talk about things that you're not supposed to talk about in Pleasant Society, like religion,
Sex.
politics, of course,
Sex.
So, not that we're obsessed or anything.
No, we're too old for that.
Yes. So we're going to talk about that today. We'll just kind of highlight a few of the things that we have kind of centered around and give you an idea of some of the things we talked about in the past 7 years, as well as kind of just introduce each other.
Yeah.
So this is the introduction part.
Oh, okay.
So who wants to go first?
Oh, okay. Well, Carl,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about yourself.
Grew up at a small radio station, and tell me about myself. Midwestern guy. Grew up in Chicago.
Pig
then
state.
Iowa.
Pig state, yeah.
Yeah, I was a corn state.
Oh, was it
Kinda
corn?
Cornheads.
I know, but it kind of looks like a pig.
They have pigs.
Yeah.
But that'd be more like North Carolina or something.
Okay.
And Mike likes to make fun of Iowa. But I went to Iowa State University. Cyclones, go Cyclones.
Cyclones.
And then left Iowa as soon as I could.
Yeah.
The legal age of 18. Came down to Texas, searching for fame and fortune in the world of advertising. And I didn't find it. My first job was at KDFW TV as a traffic coordinator, which basically...
You were a traffic coordinator
I was a
first?
traffic coordinator.
And you eased into copywriting?
No,
that's not a path.
It wasn't a path.
No.
I couldn't get a job in copywriting, Michael.
Oh, okay.
And I was ill prepared. So I worked at KD, and I'll never forget my first job. I thought I was making $250 a week, but I didn't understand the woman's Texas accent, and turned out she said I was making $215 a week. So that's a $35 difference. So when I got my first check, I was not happy, and I was quite broke. I remember that first check, I had 42 cents.
You have kind of a Midwestern accent. See, I don't have an accent.
Yeah, you would have a Texas accent.
No,
Yeah.
I talk.
You're in the bubble.
I
You're in
can
the
be a
bubble called
newscaster. I have
Texas.
no I got no accent at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll notice the difference between Michael and I real easy by his lack of accent versus my solid Midwestern sensibilities.
That's right.
Anyway, so then I went into advertising and got a job at a little place called Copywriters Inc. Is this what we want to hear?
Oh, yeah. No,
All
I
right.
think this is good. Hello, Wally.
Wally Williams hired me from the scrap heap of life. But actually, I was at that time we did a video comedy troupe. I was in a video comedy troupe called
You were?
Mass Hysteria. You didn't even know that about me,
No.
did you? Someday when I get really drunk, I'll show you the videos.
Okay. Oh, I want to see that.
But that's kind of got me getting creative again and writing again, and showed a bunch of stuff to Wally and got a job there. That lasted for a couple of years and went into big-time ad agencies as a copywriter for Tracy Locke and McCann Erickson. And then won a bunch of awards and got tired of advertising and went on a journey to find myself.
Now, why did you get tired of advertising? Did you get tired of pushing people's shit?
Yeah.
Or did you get tired of people not taking the good ideas and taking the crap?
I think it was when I was given the Pepsi Cola in the morning assignment. Mm-hmm. I just
Pepsi Cola in the morning.
it was for Pepsi Cola in the morning.
Oh, they wanted you to substitute Pepsi for your coffee?
That is correct.
Are you serious?
I'm going to make that stuff up.
This is how advertising works, folks. In case you really don't know, you're going to hear some of the
Dark stories.
the dark stories of advertising.
I won't even tell you about Funyuns.
Funyuns.
It's not really an onion.
There's no onion in it.
It was fun. It was frustrating.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do something more with my life, if that made sense. Of course, I didn't figure that out. Took a journey to the West Coast and got into the internet. Came along and got into internet marketing and did that and started a business with my wife, Suzanne, and we worked in a home business with Shackley for many years, built that up. And so this is the third chapter of my life, to make a very long story short.
It is a different chapter. That's another part of what we're doing. It's kind of like we've had these professional careers, and it's kind of like we're like so over that,
Yeah.
and it's time to do something else.
So we're doing this.
So it's
Having coffee.
teaching old dogs new tricks.
That's right.
And that's
This
dogs-
old dog has a headache from
Yeah.
learning podcasting.
oh, old dogs sleep a lot. You know, it's kind of hard to get them up to fetch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my personal career, for what it's worth. Married for 27 years. Yeah, it's my lovely wife, Suzanne. No kids. We have 2 dogs, Sophie and Sarah, and which are kind of like children. Before that, we had 2 cats.
Do you talk to them in a high voice?
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, yeah.
It's kind of, we have our own language. Actually, what we do is, which I don't know if other people do this or not, it's kind of strange, but we actually will we'll feed them words as if they're saying it.
Oh, give me an example.
So if I go, Sophie, you want to go outside for a walk? And Sophie will say, we'll say out loud to the other person, Mama, I don't want to go for a walk. I'm happy right here. So we'll put words in our dog's mouth. Is that strange? In other words, we kind of
No.
communicate to each other
Yeah.
through our dogs. All right, that is a little strange. Now that I think about it.
No,
Cute?
no.
Do you do that? You have cats.
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
So you give them a character and you have them say things that they're not really saying. But I do it so much now that I really think they are saying it.
Well, and we have games with the cats.
You have games?
Yeah, we have different games.
So what kind of games do you have?
Well, one of the games that I play with Booger's called Foot. And Booger, I'll be standing up, Booger will be down at my feet, and I'll reach out barefooted and kind of touch him on the forehead, and he'll come after me.
Come after your foot?
He'll come after the foot. And so I then I put the foot on the ground and kind of snake it around and drag it away from him, and he comes chasing it, and then I get him on the head again, and then he comes after it a little bit, and then he turns around, and then it's called capture the foot. You got to put your foot down, and he'll back up and sit on it. And then Booger wins.
So is this a
He captures the foot.
sock foot or a barefoot? Doesn't matter.
No, barefoot.
Barefoot.
Yeah,
Has to be barefoot?
Oh, it has to be barefoot.
Sock won't work.
No, I didn't want to play sock foot.
I used to have cat.
It could be another game, sock foot. But this is just straight up foot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. People are kind of fucked up about their pets.
They are. And I
Yeah.
guess we kind of infuse them with personality that they may or may not have. But
Yeah. Yeah.
We like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Tell us a little bit about your story.
My story. From Texas, born,
Really?
raised. Oh, yeah. Hardcore. My grandfather, I think it was my aunt, when they were living out of the state and they were getting ready to have a child outside of the state, he sent them a little vial of dirt so they could put it under the operating room so the kid would be born over Texas soil.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, no, it's hardcore. And, there's something about Texas that's that way. I've tried to figure it out. There's all kinds of songs and myths and whatever it is about Texas, but I don't think that exists with, Kansas,
Yeah.
Idaho, Rhode Island. Willie Nelson hadn't written a song about Rhode Island.
Well, I was born in Rhode Island.
Were you really?
Yeah.
I've never known anybody. Hey,
I
I've never known anybody from Rhode Island.
increased the population of the state by 2% that year.
So anyway, born here, high school, moved to New Mexico, which was really a good experience. We're moving out to, it was Farmington, New Mexico, northwest corner.
I didn't know you lived in New Mexico.
Oh yeah, it was lived there through high school. That's when I started high school. Left Dallas, had a serious girlfriend here, and get uprooted to go there. It was kind of. It was
Tragic?
kind of, well, no, it was, tragic is not the right word. It was one of the best things that probably ever happened. I was leaving good friends here, but we moved out there, got a chance to live in that part of the world, which is an incredible part of the country. I mean, it just really is. It's totally different. I mean, we moved from Dallas, which was millions at that point, to Farmington.
What year were you when you made that move? How old were you?
15, 16, 15.
So you did sing. I
Yeah.
moved my junior year in high school
Yeah.
from the suburbs of Chicago to Iowa.
Yeah, you got
I was
all
not
these,
happy.
Yeah, you get all these friends, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden you're uprooted. But as we pulled onto the main street, Dad goes, "Well, here we are," and I go, "What do you mean here we are?" And he goes, "This is Main Street," and I'm going, "Oh my God!"
Exactly.
And but the first thing I saw was we'd never, coming from Dallas, we had never been around Native American Indians. But the first thing we saw as we turned the corner, and this was a midday, was a drunk Indian beating the shit out of a parking meter with a 2x4. That's a kind of an interesting image.
That is an interesting.
Yeah,
image.
and then that gets into whole other issues about Indians and the way they're treated out there. But that's something that was kind of exposing us to something other than kind of a loaf of Wonder Bread existence that we had in Dallas, and lived out there through high school, and then went back during summers to work, and got a chance to backpack and learn to ski and all that kind of stuff. And then came back to Texas, went to school in Lubbock, and that was a good experience. Not Lubbock, but the people. And got exposed. We had an instructor there that really kind of lit a fire under a lot of us. He was from Los Angeles.
This was kind of a Dead Poet Society experience.
Yeah, absolutely. It was exactly what it was, because, before he came, and I was out there for a year or half a year before he came, I look back on it now, and if not only myself but everybody else that went out there and studied under Frank Cheatham had not had him, we would all be, working on grocery store ads.
Right.
Or doing just, basically shit work. But
So
he exposed us to the world, but also taught us a lot. He was incredible. He was I'm a designer, not only was he an incredible designer, but an incredible person and a strong personality, which helped us all, I think, become what we became. And there were just a huge number of really talented people that got thrown out of that school that are now all over the country doing really well. So anyway, we were there. And then about the time I graduated, my parents moved back to Dallas. So I came to Dallas, got a job.
As a designer.
As a designer.
What does the designer do, would you say?
Huh?
What the heck does the designer do for the non-designing people out there?
Makes things pretty.
Is that it, pretty much?
Yeah, it makes them, in some cases, makes them look better than they probably should or deserve to be. Yeah. And
Kind of like copywriting.
Yeah, exactly. And so I decided not to go into advertising. Something about advertising I didn't like. I don't know what it was. But I remember a poster from that time that was up in the first design office I had, and it was this client. He was kind of cross-eyed and had these glasses on, and he goes, the line on it was, "Without advertising, we wouldn't know." And I don't know. I just didn't. It wasn't for me. So anyway, I veered into design. Worked for a couple of places in Dallas.
So you weren't designing
married.
and advertising. What were you designing in?
Huh?
Since you weren't designing and advertising, what were you
Well,
designing?
at that time, actually, the kind of stuff that we were doing, it was minor design, but a lot of production work, and it was production work for art directors from Tracy. So they would bring shit over at the end of the day, which had to be done, cranked around overnight, and so we'd work all night, and so they could have it in the morning. So I kind of didn't like that, because a lot of the stuff we were working on for them, I didn't like the design. It was not that great. So anyway, so that kind of soured me on things, and that was about the time I met Nita. And we met, got engaged 2 weeks later, got married a few months after that, and then after we'd been married for 6 months, I got fired from my job. It was after I had heard them interview somebody from that wanted to be a designer. And my boss said, "Well, if you really want to be a designer, you need to go to New York or Los Angeles." So that pissed me off. And so I already had a bad attitude. It just got worse. He fired me. I said, "Why are you firing me? You have a poor attitude." And I did. So I bagged up my stuff, picked up Nita, I threw it in the back of the car, picked up Nita, and I said, "See, look at the back." She goes, "That's all your stuff?" I said, "Yeah, we're moving. We're either moving to New York or Los Angeles. Depends on which school accepts me. So we went out there, went to school at Art Center for a while, went to work at a place called Saul Bass, Herb Yeager and Associates. And then we stayed out there for 3 years. That was another one of those kind of experiences like moving to New Mexico. That exposed us to even more. We had some really...
Heavy in the Los Angeles art design scene.
What?
The L.A.
Yeah.
scene, so to speak.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And was really fortunate to get the job at Bass. It was a huge place, very important at that time, and had a big impact on what I ultimately did. But the moving out to Los Angeles was what was good. Getting exposed to at the school that I went to people from all over the world, and where I work, people literally from all over the world, Europe, South America, Japan, China, were working there. And so, learned to eat falafels, Japanese food, Thai food.
Yeah.
Great
you
music.
learn that in your 20s and 30s, I think.
Well, especially if you're exposed to it there, which we had never been. And so that was really good. Decided to leave Los Angeles after experiencing 9 straight days of stage 2 smog alerts, which is the air you cannot even imagine. And when I was taking Nita, she was working for an advertising agency down on Mid-Wilshire. Taking her to work one morning, we saw a lady bum peeing on the sidewalk, and we thought, we're fucking out of here.
That was
And
it,
so,
huh?
Yeah. Moved back to Dallas, the hot summer of '80, and that was started my own business.
There you go.
Did that shit, had 3 kids.
And there you are.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
There we have it.
yeah. So
All
that
right.
kind of gives you
So
a
that
background.
gives you a little background
Kind of the Cliff's Notes.
of 40 years, 30 years, whatever.
Yeah.
I learned some things I didn't know about you.
Like what?
That you went to New Mexico and
Yeah. Yeah.
you actually spent time in Lubbock.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah.
And became wiser for it.
Yes. Oh no, I think all moves like that are good. I think it's a really good, healthy thing to move. And for us, it was, even going to Lubbock, it was different kind of environment, different people, and New Mexico was certainly different people. And going from a big town to a small town, there's kind of changes and that happen there. Just in high school, the way first off, you're the new kid.
Yeah.
Right? And you're Dallas. Okay? And so there's a lot of the guys I found were trying to pick fights with me for various reasons.
Because you were the outsider.
I was the outsider.
Right.
But one of the reasons that they were trying to pick fights with me is because I was getting some attention from some of the girls that were there. Yeah, so it was like, okay, who's this guy coming in messing with our women folk? And I wasn't messing with anybody. I think the women were just tired of the
seeing
locals.
that-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
How big was your
fresh meat,
school?
I guess. Hey, fresh meat,
That's right.
So there's that. So all those, I think any kind of move. Did you experience that too when you moved from various places? You had
Yeah.
to.
I mean, between 85 and 2002, we moved, I think, 15 times.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I
Was
mean,
that all up
sometimes it
and
was
down
in
the West
city,
Coast?
but
Was that
we
mostly
lived
up
in
and down?
Dallas. We moved around several times
Yeah.
to Dallas.
Yeah.
Then we moved to Los Gatos, California.
Yeah.
In 89, we're there for the earthquake.
Yeah.
Spent about a year there. And then
Oh,
moved
now see, you would never get that in Texas.
No, you didn't. I was...
Or Iowa, for that matter.
was-
Well, you can get it in Texas now after the fracking, so...
Yes.
But, yeah.
But that was an experience.
Yeah.
I remember it happening going, is this big? Because this feels big. 'Cause
Was
you
it a
don't
big
know.
one?
It was a 7.0. It was the big one in 89 when it knocked out the World Series.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
I was-
Morning of the earthquake, we fly out of there,
Get
and we
out.
get back in, and Randy, who's a friend of ours out there, called, and he was what he could see because of where he lived. He could see down the hill from him, and that's where a lot of it was on fire, and that was kind of cool.
Wasn't cool.
But I was pissed off. I missed it.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, you
getting
really don't want to
that
be in
close.
an
No,
earthquake.
I want the
You
experience.
think you would.
No.
But no,
But
you don't.
Now, would
telling
you
you-
rather not have had that experience?
Yes.
Oh, bullshit.
No, seriously.
Really? You'd
6
rather
months
wipe
later,
that
a
out?
truck would go by, and I would tense up.
Yeah. Well, maybe
This
you need
is-
to go to a doctor and have that part mental flossed out. You can
Yeah.
have some.
I look forward to the future where you can
Floss
kind of
out those
laser
things. No,
folk-
that's
no, that would be
kind
weird.
of what makes you, you know,
neurotic.
well, skittish maybe.
Maybe. No, it was. Yeah, I mean, it was an experience.
Yeah.
It's one you don't forget. But
Yeah.
we lived there, and then we moved to Vancouver, British Columbia. Lived there. Beautiful,
Eh?
beautiful. Hey.
So, so are the Canadians quite a bit different?
You know, they are actually. They are and they aren't. You know, because it's the same language and all that. But they definitely have a different sensibility. Friendly people. And being the American in the group, you know, they always marveled at our American sensibilities.
What about our America? What do they marvel
I think
at?
we're a little bit. They found me anyway to be more hardcore. I remember my first day in advertising up there.
Yeah.
It's time at 11:30. They said, "We're going to lunch. You want to go?" You know, so it's okay. I'll go for lunch. First off, that was unusual because I usually ate at my desk in Tracy Lock, often. And we went to lunch at 11:30, and it's 1 o'clock, and no one's leaving. It's 1:30. We're still at lunch, and then we leave about 1:45. And
Perfect. But how late did you stay?
we left around 6.
I like the Canadians.
It was kind of a 9 to 5, 9 to 6 job. I mean,
Really?
it was very relaxed. It was a much more balanced life
Yeah.
there. You know, you couldn't walk more than a couple blocks without having a park. Lots of green spaces,
what?
even a park
What?
in the city.
What?
Yeah. So I mean, it was very, and then of course Vancouver is beautiful.
Uh-huh.
But I think the Republicans here in the United States would say it's
Now, you just slipped into a Texas accent.
I
while
did
you-
there because when I
Well,
think
it's
of
appropriate.
Republicans,
Yeah,
I think
know,
Texan.
I know. You can't blame all of us for those
No.
clowns.
But they would look at Canada as being very socialistic. I mean, kind of Bernie Sanders, like.
Yeah.
Because they are. The
Yeah.
laws and the taxes and the philosophy
Yeah.
would be very left of our left.
Yeah.
So if you want to see what a left-run government looks like, go to Canada. Mm-hmm. And you're going to find, yes, the taxes are higher, but the quality of life is better. Mm-hmm. The services, I could get on a bus anywhere, and within 10 minutes in Vancouver, I
See,
could.
that would be nice.
I had lots of parks.
Plus,
Cost
it's a
me
beautiful-
$5 to
it's
go
a
to the
beautiful-
dentist.
What's the name of that big park on the islands? That's
Bucharest.
Bucharest.
That's on the island.
What's the
Vancouver
island?
Island.
Is
Vancouver
Vancouver-
Island's kind of like England
Okay.
is to the mainland
okay.
Europe.
Okay.
Beautiful place. So yeah, I mean, people didn't work. Took a lot of vacations, lots of holidays, and I think had a better balance. That said, the choices were somewhat, a little bit limited.
Yeah.
Because there's only like 10 million people in Canada or something like that. I think, no, there's more than that probably, but they could fill up the state of California has more people than Canada.
Really?
Yeah. So for you young kids, if you want to get a fast track, that was the other thing I noticed. A lot of our, from Peter Jennings to Michael Myers to a lot of comedians, a lot of actors and stuff come from Canada.
Why?
Because my theory is the competition isn't as tough in
Yeah.
Canada because there's not as many people. So if
Yeah.
you decide to get into journalism news in Canada, you can climb up the ladder a lot quicker than you could trying to do that in the States.
And then
or in
bounce off
acting
down
or
here,
whatever.
yeah.
But then it's considered equal.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you're a top newscaster in Canada, you can become a top newscaster hired over as a top newscaster in the United States or an
Yeah.
actor, things like that.
Yeah,
The doors you're able to if you have talent early, you can get to the top in Canada a lot faster.
Is that how Justin Bieber did it?
That's how Justin Bieber did it, yeah.
Oh,
Little 13-year-old kid, yeah. So yeah, whether you're Justin Bieber or Mike Meyer or
They can take that little turd back.
really
Oh,
not
yeah.
not happy with Justin.
No. And I just wonder how much of it's him and how much of it's the machine behind him.
I think at this point it's him.
You think it's yeah?
You
it
take a
probably is.
13-year-old and you give him. Think about you if you had raving women crazy
Yeah.
about you and
I
his
had
adulation.
that today.
Do you?
Oh
Yeah.
yes, it's a terrible burden.
Terrible burden.
Terrible
And I'm
burden,
sure this
but, you know.
this podcast will just
Oh my
the
God!
Michael groupies will
Yeah.
just be uncontrollable.
The people outside the stage door, the women, it'll
Yeah.
just be, you know.
Yeah.
But I will not partake
You
because
won't.
I am a happily married man. Yes.
Yes, well, let's talk about that. And one of the things we talk about is a little phrase we call, or actually you, I think, coined the term, pussification.
Pacification. Yes.
Yeah, so tell the audience here, what does pussification mean? How would you define pussification?
Well, it's the domestication of the male. But see, I'm kind of torn between that because is there a difference between pussification and domestication?
Yes, I think there is.
There is.
Yeah. I think pussification is the letting go of the male.
Letting go of the male, willingly letting go of the male.
No, well, I think it just happens like a frog in water where you slowly turn up the heat.
That's good. It is. Yeah.
Yes. So pussification, I think there's an element also of acquiescence to the
Yeah.
other gender. But
Yeah.
go ahead and
And this doesn't happen just because you're married. In fact,
doesn't?
no. I think it happens. It just happens. I think it happens. Probably starts early.
so you're saying if you're a single guy,
I think it kicks into hyperspace when you get married. Yes, getting pussified. Not pussified. Now, pussified and pussification are two different things. Well, are they? Pussified, pussification.
pussification is a process.
It's a process.
It starts when, as a single guy, you have your girlfriend move in.
Okay, so there's a process of pussification, and at the end, you are fully pussified.
That is correct. Which is where you would be.
Oh, yeah, probably.
So, not me, though.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
Not rough and tumble, Carl.
Yepper.
Yeah. So what's the difference then? You're saying pussification, domestication. Domestication is where,
Well, domestication would deal with your physical surroundings.
yeah.
I'll give you a good example. So,
Okay.
there's this thing they have now we call man caves, right?
Yeah.
And so a guy gets a man cave.
Yeah.
Okay. So what that looks like is he gets like an extra bedroom. He gets to turn into the man cave.
Yeah.
Okay. But think about that. He has this one little second bedroom is his domain.
Yeah.
Whose domain is the rest of the house?
Well, that's true. So
That's domestication.
So you think you're getting,
Right.
you're taking your man cave,
Yeah.
but actually all you're doing is being allocated a small space
Yeah.
so you can keep your shit out of the rest
150
of the
square
house.
feet of a
Yes.
2,000 square foot home.
Okay, so
who
it's,
owns the other 1,850 square feet?
so you're actually not even owning the man cave. You're kind of renting it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it looks like you have autonomy as a man, but really, you don't. The pussification
That is pussification.
It is.
That
That's
is
one way that you can see
That is
pussification.
absolutely. I guess that's true.
Yeah. The other ways you can see pussification are by the movies you go to,
Oh, movies, yes.
You-
Romantic comedies.
romantic comedies.
Yeah, instead of I want Bullet, or I want
Yeah. When was the last
I
time
want some
you
sort
saw
of shoot 'em
an
up.
action?
I want 300. I want people in fighting with swords or chicks with blades like Kill Bill and Kill Bill 2. There's nothing better than women with sharp knives.
Right. But if you're going to go to a movie with your beloved,
Yes.
you are not going to see
No.
Django Unchained.
No.
No. You're
No.
going to see
Yes.
the latest English
Yeah.
upstairs,
Anita
downstairs.
makes no bones about that. Nah, I don't want any violence, or I don't want
Yes.
any fantasy,
No
or I don't want any
violence,
of this, or
no
any-
fantasy, no action.
How about a Meg Ryan?
Not even sometimes too much tension.
Yeah.
Should be a drama.
Yeah.
So you're down to when Harry Met Sally.
Happy endings.
Yes, must have a happy ending.
Yeah, happy endings.
So think about that. Are you going 50%? If pussification was not there, you would
No.
be going to 50%.
No, if you
One
wanna-
week you'd be going to Django
No.
Unchained. The
No,
next
no,
week
no.
you'd be going
no,
to
No, you know how that works? If you're going out
yeah.
on a date, you go out and you see those kinds of movies. If you want to watch the stuff you want to watch, you do it in the man cave
In the man cave,
by yourself
pretty much.
with popcorn. and maybe Vienna sausage.
Really?
Oh yeah, Vienna sausage.
I would never have
with
Vienna
mustard.
sausage
You know,
and popcorn.
I used to eat that crap when I was a kid. I'd never eat that now. You pull the whole lump of Vienna sausages out. They're kind of stuck together with that spooge, that kind of
that's
gelatin
gross.
spooge.
Yeah,
and you pull
I
them
never ate
apart
them,
like
really.
that. Dip them in yaller mustard.
No.
Only yaller mustard.
Really?
And it eats
Is this a Texas
saltines.
thing?
No, a real Texas thing is pickled pig feet.
Wow.
Yeah, you never
had
did that?
No.
Now, that comes in a jar, and it's also got that pickled spooge, clear kind of gelatin
Mm-hmm.
stuff that's congealed because it's cold. And when you pull them out, it kind of goes, and it's kind of got a suction thing, and then you kind of got to brush and then you nibble on the knuckles to get the meat off. You
Oh,
never,
that's just gross.
it is,
Now, did
but
you
I
ever
don't
do
do
sardines?
that.
Or
No,
sardine sandwiches?
No, my dad ate sardines.
My
I
dad ate
didn't-
sardines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
We
think
make
that's
sardine sandwiches.
I think that's an old. Do you eat sardines now?
No, well, once in a great while.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. It just no, little fish. I like my food more abstract than that. That was a whole fish.
Yeah.
It had a head, it had a tail. You know, you could tell it was a fish. Pickled pig feet. You don't know what that is.
Right,
Some
I
sort
guess-
of pink meat. That's
That just sounds gross.
hey, it is. Yeah.
But it tastes like chicken?
No, does not taste like
With the
chicken.
other white meat?
But anyway, that's
See,
the,
how this is an example.
Yeah,
We was
yeah.
talking about pussification, and somehow we got to pickled pig's feet.
because that's the kind of food that you eat in your man cave,
Got
which
it.
is all
Do you
part
have a
of the
man
Pacific.
cave?
I have
No.
I
You
have
don't even have a man
I
cave.
have a garage.
So
That's as close to a man cave as I get. As
see,
a garage.
you're like barely attached to the house.
That
as a
would
man.
be correct. Yeah.
That is where the pacification. That's what we mean by pacification.
Yeah.
If you're living out in the garage, if the garage
Yeah.
is your space,
Yeah. And it's not even air conditioned
and it's
or
not,
heated,
no.
so it's not even a 365 kind of.
So why don't you just
environment.
demand half the house be under Michael's vision?
Because no,
Oh no, the pacification is
I don't wanna-
complete in this one.
I don't want to rock the boat.
Exactly, another signal of pacification. Don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah,
Yes.
no boat rocking because
Yes.
that's just
So how does that happen? What do you think?
what. How does that?
Pacification.
I don't know.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You really don't know.
No, it's
You
a mystery.
start. You have your Rolling Stone posters and your beanbag chair, and then a few years later, you get married, and a couple of years, all your stuff is gone.
Yeah, and it's a slow process. You
It is
don't
a
miss
slow
that
process.
poster at first. You kind of
Yeah,
go, something's different in this room. I don't remember what
Oh,
it was, and then all of
we-
a sudden the poster's gone.
I got a picture from Pier 1.
Yeah.
Right.
A sofa-sized painting.
But it's a
And-
sailboat.
Yeah, it's
You
a
should like
sailboat.
it.
Yeah, and so you roll up the Rolling Stones poster and put it into the closet, and you go, well, okay, it's back there, so I'll be able to put it in my man cave someday. Even a man cave is kind of a new concept.
It is.
It
they
is
didn't
a
even
new
have a
kind-
man cave
no.
until recently.
No, huh.
So this is actually a movement.
Yeah,
Almost.
it's a man cave movement.
Well, it
is.
It's a attempt to gain 200 square feet out of your 2,000 plus square foot home, which is 1/10.
Or get your balls out of a vice. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think also the pacification comes in the sexual arena.
Oh.
Michael, tell us about that.
No.
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 What's the old joke? If you put a penny in a jar for every time you made love your first year, it would take the rest of your life to empty the jar.
I haven't heard that
You
joke.
never heard
I like
that?
that joke. Yes.
That would be pacification process.
Yes. Yeah.
The slow decline of
Mm-hmm.
sexual activity.
There is a slow decline. Is that because of our age?
No, that's because of pacification.
The pacification. So if we weren't pacified, there would be more sexual activity.
I think-
If we maintained our caveman kind of said, no, this is the way it's going to be. Drag them off to the man cave by the hair.
You're asking me like I know. In theory, that would be correct.
Yeah.
So as we go along on these episodes here, you may hear the word pacification come up, and it's something that we talk about from time to time.
And you'll we will experience together our continual the process.
The process of pacification.
Yes.
And how many years have you been married?
Does knowing about pacification slow it down? I mean, once you become aware of it, does
Has it slowed it down for you?
no, not really.
Not really.
Okay,
That
there you
answers
go.
your
All right.
question.
All right. Anyway, what were you
So
saying?
how long have you been married now?
37 years.
37?
37.
Wow. I'm 27. So between us, we have almost 65 years of experience.
Yeah.
In the pacification field.
Yeah.
So we're kind of pacification experts.
I would think so. We have our honorary PhDs from Phoenix University in pacification.
So we will be sharing with you more on
Yeah.
the pacification process, what to look for, not really how to stop it because we don't know how to stop
Yeah.
it. It's really unstoppable, is it?
I would like somebody to tell me how to.
Well, there's
can you
50%.
if you stop it, can you reverse it, or is it once you get to this point, there's no way to kind of go back?
We'll have to bring in our audience. I'm thinking there's divorced men out there. That
Yeah.
might be a way.
Yeah.
But then you're kind of, what are you doing? So then you revert back to, to only be pacified again.
So it's a continual process. Now, men that get married multiple times, are they avoiding pacification, or is it just it's
They might
smaller
be fighting
chunks?
pacification. I don't know. I have not been
Yeah.
married multiple times.
I wonder. That's a good.
We'll ask our listeners to chime
Yeah.
in on
Yeah.
pacification. Their lack of it, or if they found a cure for it, we would be curious.
Is there a female equivalent to pacification?
You know, sometimes I see guys and their girlfriends like into baseball,
Yeah.
and I go, "How did you do that?" You know, because like Suzanne attempts to watch some baseball with me.
Yeah.
She'll say, you know, like even now, 27 years later, you know, so what period are we in? You know, and it's innings. It's not period. It's not quarters. It's been 27 years. You'd think just by osmosis you would have picked it up.
Yeah, picked up something.
And yet I see, you know, Johnny over here, and his girlfriend is like into sports. I don't even know how you do that.
I think you got to marry one that's already there.
You do, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I'd be curious to learn from those who feel like we're being too harsh in our judgment of.
If there's a female equivalent, well, that would have to mean that we would have female listeners that would actually hear this and take the time to
Right.
enlighten us. But I'm not. Well, I may get enlightened.
Oh, yeah. I
Tonight.
think you might get enlightened since this is the one episode our wives are going to listen
I think
to.
Nita and my mother, who's 85, and my sister will probably have something to say about this.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
See? This is why we didn't record for 5 of the, for 7 years. So let's move on. So
Okay.
pacification, that's a theme. Mm-hmm. Then we have stupid tax,
Stupid tax.
from originally coined by David Ramsey.
Yeah, and Dave Ramsey. This is something Carl hit me too. So you explain
Yes.
the stupid tax.
So stupid tax is anything you pay for because you're stupid. So anything, take a look at any reoccurring charges you have on your credit card. You know, the most famous stupid tax, of course, would be the gym membership that you're paying for every month that you haven't been to in the last 2 years. That would be a stupid tax. If you haven't called your cable company once a year to negotiate a better rate, a better deal, you are paying a stupid tax.
Yes. And when they balk at you, tell them you want to talk to the retention department. This is something I found out. A lot of corporations have what they call retention departments, and those people are the ones that have the authority to negotiate what your monthly fees are. And they do. They will, because it's easier to do that and keep you than to lose you.
Yes. If you are still paying for AOL, which is free,
What?
AOL.com.
AOL?
There's people still paying for AOL.
That's the dial-up
That's a stupid
kinda-
tax
Why? Why would somebody...
because they're stupid.
Uh,
No, it's just stuff you're paying for that you shouldn't be paying for. And so there's many business models built on playing off of either your stupidity or your laziness or a combination of
and
both.
landlines that you haven't disconnected if you don't need them. That's another stupid tax. That's like, what, $40-50 a month for a landline?
Yeah,
And you can have that landline ported, I think, to your cell phone.
yes.
So
So
get rid
ways
of
to
that
avoid the stupid tax would be to go through and check, are you getting the best deal on your electricity? Are you paying reoccurring charges on your credit card? Are you getting the best deal on your cable TV, your internet provider?
Cell phones.
We believe many people are spending hundreds of dollars a month in stupid tax.
I know.
I know we have
Yeah.
in the past, but we've been better at
Yeah.
being smarter about
Better.
that.
Yeah.
But there's definitely stupid tax things that you pay. We went to that comedy festival the other weekend, and beers were $12 a can, and wine was $14 or something like that. Ridiculous.
That's a stupid tax.
That's a stupid tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get drunk before you go.
Yeah. So, stupid tax is just spending money.
Tailgate it.
Yeah.
Do whatever. Yeah.
Is spending money based on your stupidity or lack
Well,
of knowledge.
and speaking about alcohol, Nita and I have got a couple of restaurants that we like to go to where they'll let you bring your own alcohol. And basically that cuts our bill for eating out in half, typically is what it does. You drag your own bottle of wine, and they don't have a corkage fee. You just, you bring your bottle of wine, you drink it. They want you there to eat the food. And so we've got a couple of those places that we go to, and so that's a way of cutting back. That's stupid tax.
Yeah.
A lot. So, yeah.
Sometimes you pay stupid tax due to the pacification process to bring the two concepts together.
Oh, really? Like,
Yeah.
give me an example.
Like our dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. Our dogs must get like Costco chicken mixed in their dog food. So we pay stupid tax
No.
on Costco chicken for the dogs.
They don't care if it's Costco chicken.
I know, they're dogs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's the way it is.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I know.
Sometimes
Well,
that
I mean,
happens.
we're doing a similar kind of thing. Boogers getting prescription food.
Prescription.
Yeah.
So there's a prescription written for it?
Oh yeah, the only way you can buy it is to have a prescription written for it.
Yeah,
And the
really?
reason, and the way we got roped in on that, and it's hard for me to bow out on that one, is he had some sort of kidney problems, and it cost like $1,500 over a weekend to get him patched up and operated on because he had kidney stones. And we go into the vet, and the vet says, "Well, looked at his diet, and he goes, you need to have him using this kind of
Yeah, I find the
food,
whole
you
pet
know.
industry has been built on
yeah."
all sorts of things.
Yeah, well,
now.
and now what they want to do is for them to write that prescription, you've got to come in once a year for a checkup.
Yeah, how special that is.
Yes, you want to come in for a checkup.
So there's a bit of
Yeah,
stupid tax in there.
there's a hiccup
Because if you don't pay it, what? You don't love your dog?
there. Well, sure.
Sure. And I think from advertising, we recognize the stupid taxes that are in there. A lot of store brands are the same company. The same company that makes Board of Milk also sends out the milk to store brands.
Oh yeah,
So you can pay an extra dollar
Same
for the
VAT.
advertising, for the
Same
brand. Yes, it's true. So there's stupid taxes all over the place, and we talk about those.
the advertising makes you feel good,
It does.
makes you feel comfortable.
Makes you feel like you're doing the
You're
right
buying
thing.
the best for your kids.
That's right.
Pay that stupid tax.
Exactly.
Enjoy that feeling.
So
Yeah.
we over the years we sometimes go into that as a theme. These
Yeah.
are themes. Specifications, stupid tax are some of the themes of things that we talk about.
Yeah, and there's stupid tax on big shit now. College.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Lots of stupid tax there.
Yeah. Yeah, people don't shop that. You need to shop it better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what else do we? Another area we talk about is religion.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now, Carl, you've got an interesting thing in your background on religion.
What would that be?
You started out your Catholic,
Catholic.
but you spent time at
are you talking about my journey into Rosicrucianism?
yes,
Yes,
and
that
that's-
was in my 20s,
yeah,
searching for the meaning of life.
yeah. But see,
Question
that's
mark.
good. That's good. You're
Yes.
searching you're trying something different, searching for the meaning of life, and you got something out of that, didn't you?
Yeah, I got fired.
Poor attitude.
No, actually, there was a coup.
There was
It's
a
long
coup?
story.
A
Yes.
Rosicrucian
coup.
A coup.
Yes.
You can have those?
You have absolutely.
Seriously.
Yes. But it was a good experience. It
Yeah.
was.
And so you were there for the coup?
I was there
Was
for
it
the
a
coup.
bloodless coup?
No, there's blood. It was a moment where I had to decide I could have stayed there.
Yeah.
But the people that were doing the coup
Yeah.
to me were not ethical.
Yeah.
And
That happens a lot.
So I had
with
that
coups.
one moment where you had to decide ethics
Yeah.
versus finance.
Yeah.
I chose ethics. And,
Good decision. Always a good decision.
Then was living in a park.
Where you questioned that decision.
I questioned that decision.
And Suzanne questioned that decision?
We were up. We went up in northern. What was the area called? It's escaping me at the moment, but
Where? What state?
in California,
Shasta?
up by Shasta.
Up in Mendocino?
Yeah,
Were you harvesting the local crop up
we
there?
were. No, we were in this little park, and every day I would walk down. This was pre-cell phones, and I would walk down to the phone that they had inside a tree.
Inside a tree?
Yeah, and I would
Seriously,
make-
inside a tree?
Yeah, you'd open the little. Well, it was a fake tree phone
Yeah.
combo.
Yeah.
And I would use the phone and call Vancouver because I was supposedly getting a freelance job up there.
So you were freelancing out of your tent?
I was no freelancing. I was
No?
looking to get a job.
Oh, okay.
Freelancing that would possibly lead into a job if it worked out.
So the kind of phone interviews from a
From a
national
tree.
park,
Yeah.
from a tree. That's cool.
Yeah, except
That's very
you call
cool.
in and he's busy right now. Can you call back tomorrow?
And you go, damn, that was my last quarter.
You go, damn, I'm in a tree and another day in the park. But that's really cutting a long story
Yeah.
to very short.
Yeah.
So religion is about, I guess my religious experience was, I was a questioning person in religion, which
Yeah.
doesn't really get you very far.
Well, it doesn't. People don't
Questioning
like.
isn't really liked. You really kind of buy in the doctrine or you don't.
Oh, well, that's what faith is all about, isn't it? It's a
Faith.
total acceptance
Yeah, but-
without having the answers.
Yeah, but it's faith on somebody else's ideas,
Correct.
my opinion.
Yeah.
So you're buying into, somebody else's idea of what God is. And I just always had this belief of, how do you know? I'm a writer, so I understand how that works.
Yeah.
You get some ideas, and they may be some good ideas, but they're your interpretation at the end
Yeah.
of the day. And that didn't sit well.
Yeah.
And it turned out I'm more spiritual than religious.
Yeah.
But I think right now I've moved towards kind of, for me, religion is, the only honest answer I can give about religion is I don't know.
I can't imagine any other answer being appropriate.
Yeah, but a lot of people think that they know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they know what's going to happen when you're dead, and they know what's going to, right. And then the whole,
And they feel sorry for you because you don't know
Right.
what they know.
Right. But I know that I don't know,
Yeah.
as opposed to buying into somebody else's viewpoint. And whether that somebody else's viewpoint's a preacher or whether that's someone else's viewpoint is based on something written in a book, I don't go for that.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of this kind of punishing God, you fuck up here on earth and you're going to pay for it later.
Oh, yeah.
Screw that. I think I grew up with that.
Oh, yeah.
So that doesn't appeal to me.
Well, I think a lot of people grew up with that,
Now, you bancy a phrase called religitard.
Uh-huh.
Tell us what a religitard is.
Well, I think you were touching on it. I think, to me, it's somebody that doesn't think. Now, it doesn't think or question, and they have freely given up that ability, because we all have the ability to question. They've given that up in favor of acceptance of a set of rules or doctrines. And those rules and doctrines change per organization, per religion, And
So it's a blind acceptance of
a blind
what someone's
acceptance,
told you.
blind acceptance, and blind allegiance. Yeah, and I think that's really kind of an unfortunate thing. That leads into it can lead into some really scary shit. but it's just I think we probably all have that in our backgrounds. You talked about your background. My background is I'll talk about my parents because that's where a lot of us get what we get is from our parents. Dad grew up Baptist in Jackson, Mississippi, and this was like in the 30s or 40s. Mississippi was Mississippi and still is Mississippi. Mom grew up Baptist in East Texas, which is not as bad as Mississippi, but she could what's called hard shell Baptist, and I'd never heard of hard shell Baptist, but that's even harder core. And so when we were growing up, we didn't go to Baptist church. We went to some Methodist churches and mainly a Presbyterian church, which is not a lot of the come on down kind of hell and brimstone kind of shit you get in a Baptist church. In fact, our family got together with a number of families that started a Presbyterian church here in Dallas, and we went for a long time. But I got tired of listening to the same old stories over and over again. There was not in the Presbyterian church we went to. There was not a lot of finger pointing and a lot of condemning you because you don't believe a lot. And I think maybe that's the way Presbyterians are. I don't know. I haven't been in so long, so I don't have a clue. So I kind of bailed out of that in junior high and started looking. And part of that was my mom. My mom would say, one of the ministers with this church, she wanted her to go out and bang on doors and try and save people. And she goes, no. She said, I don't feel like I need to be doing that. And that's part of one of the tenets in the Christian faith. You're supposed to go out and suck people in.
All right, what's the market? That's the marketing arm.
Yeah, that's the market. Yes.
Every religion has a marketing arm.
Remember, folks, we're coming to this as advertising, design, copywriting, marketing, and it's all about getting butts in the seats. It's still a business. You still have to pay to keep the lights on. You still have to pay salaries, and to do that, you got to get butts in the seats. Right. So anyway,
so one way to get butts in the seats is to procreate. Catholics did that. Yeah. Mormons did that. Do that now.
Or make your church better than others by putting in racquetball courts or possibly a little Starbucks franchise or whatever.
Starbucks is in churches now?
Oh, yeah. Well, they had, I think they're, yeah. And so anyway, little outlets, Yeah. And so, I don't know that, but they do have coffee shops in them. So it's the same kind of a thing, whether it's an actual branded Starbucks. It's a business. So anyway, so we did that, and Mom was always of the view that she didn't think that she would agree with you. I don't know. I don't have the answer. But I know.
So I guess that makes me agnostic.
No, I think that makes you a questioning, growing human being.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you're not looking for an answer. It means you're still open for
Here's
input.
A theory I have
that's
on it.
Kind of what we all are, or should be.
I don't have a problem with religion, and I don't have a problem with people that are saved.
Yeah.
I do think that aspect of religion. If you need to be saved because it's a choice between you being a criminal and getting saved by Jesus is going to stop you from robbing people, killing people, beating your wife, or whatever. Yeah. Great. I don't have you should get saved, and you need that to kind of get you on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
So I almost look at religion sometimes as like a good
10-step program.
A good program for early human development. To save you from your animalistic nature.
Well, I think there's a lot of good stories there, and I get in trouble with friends sometimes who are like really serious about this. I said, you can take your Bible and you chunk it in the trash heap and keep one rule, and that's do unto others.
Yeah.
And that's something that everybody should be to live by as just a human being. If you take all the
golden rule.
Yeah.
You just need that one rule.
It's just the golden rules. You don't need everything else. You the golden rules. So it all boils down to that.
It's not complicated.
If you don't want somebody to murder you, don't murder somebody else. If you don't want somebody to covet your wife, don't covet theirs. Or their donkey, or their rototiller, or
Exactly.
Cars. Yeah.
I think that's a fine philosophy to go
Yeah.
by.
And so, but no, you got to have the books, and then there's the differentiation. Again, we're talking about marketing, and there's differentiations. The Mormons got their own little book that makes them ahead above everybody else, right?
Right.
Scientology's got their own little thing that makes.
Everybody's
them
got a
ahead.
book.
Everybody's got a book. If you don't have a book,
See, but the book was written
Catholics
by.
have the Pope. I mean, the Pope.
I know.
I mean, and look at what the
Catholics got a book, too.
and the uniforms that the guards wear and shit. They got their own place.
They got their own city.
Yeah, well, it's their own country, isn't
Oh,
it?
country. I'm sorry. You're absolutely correct.
That's
That's called power, baby.
Yeah, it's called power. It's exactly.
It's also, but they've been around longer.
Yeah,
Someday maybe Salt Lake City will be a country.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got a book. And I know as a writer, books are written by people. And they can say it's divinely inspired. And I would argue any thought can be considered divinely inspired. Thoughts are beautiful things. And yes, thoughts can be done for bad things as well. But, like this guy's thoughts in this book was divinely inspired by God, and these other books aren't.
Yeah.
I just think going for that.
Yeah,
And
no.
do whatever this guy says.
Yeah.
And this guy wrote this book
Yeah.
hundreds of years ago
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's always guys writing the book.
It is always guys
How come you
because
never had a woman
it's
write a
been
book?
done in the past, right?
Right.
And men ran everything, and not only men but educated men that were able to write. So
Right.
what small fraction of the population of men and women were actually had the ability to write and could afford the people to write it?
Right.
I mean, it's not a cheap thing
No.
to write this. And so if you're spending your money and your time and your effort to do this, you're going to make sure that whatever it is dictated is what you want, I would think.
Right. And the other thing is
It's all about the money.
Plato. Plato is great, has great ideas. But I don't live my whole life around Plato.
Yeah.
I'm not a Platoite or go to Plato church or what have you. Carl Jung wrote some really fascinating stuff. Joseph Campbell wrote some great stuff, but I don't have that personality to be
A follower.
Just a follower.
A follower.
It ends up you have to be a follower in religion if you're going to go into religion.
Yes. That's why they call them followers. Or
That's
the
true.
faithful.
Right.
Or
But
those
then
of faith.
you've got people in the inner meeting trying to be the leader of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't go for that.
No.
So
No, and even today, it's still a lot of times men. There's a big Bible church here in town.
20,000 people every Sunday.
And I got on their website looking at it. And one of the things they have is they have an organization that is for correction and it's two terms that they used. I forget what's the other one. And basically, it's a collection of men, only men, and you have to submit yourself to these people for correction.
Right. Because they're scholars of the Bible, or what's the deal?
I don't know. That's who knows how they got appointed to this.
Right.
Could have been their turn. I don't know. I don't know what gives them a right anyway, but that's the way it is.
And I believe you can learn from anybody, but to give up to someone else is superior to you, and I don't know. It's just it's a following mentality.
Yeah.
That
And so basically what you do is a lot of people, especially for really serious personalities within churches or organizations, they follow these folks. And a lot of times they're disappointed by what they see and what happens. I sinned on you, my Lord. Jimmy Swaggart, that was a good one. Mm-hmm. But he was big at the time, and so he's gone. So a lot of times people are disappointed by that.
right.
But then there's a fail-safe thing on those things too. It's all about forgiveness. So I'm a sinner. I'm just human. You got to forgive me. So they lay that load of bullshit out, and the followers eat it up. They're right. For me to really live my faith, I have to forgive him for what he does, and that's all well and good.
And personally, you want to go to church and you get something good out of that, great. It's when you try to impose your belief on another person.
Yes.
That to me is the sin.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's okay for you to share it. It's okay for you to try to persuade, but you don't get to impose.
No.
You know, and you see that in religious
Yeah.
people, the attempt to impose, whether it be ISIS, which is the extreme on one side, trying to impose in a whole caliphate state, or whether it's someone trying to impose on the Texas school books.
Yes.
It's the same
thing.
It's the attempt to impose your beliefs
Yeah.
on others.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of a...
Not your belief, your religious beliefs.
Yeah.
So, now that we've lost most of our audience,
And I can't believe that most of y'all haven't thought this way. And if you haven't, and you, this may not be for you.
yeah,
And that's cool.
that's what we're talking about. A lot of thinking out loud, questioning, and so that's a little bit around area. So we've talked sex with pussification. We've talked religion with, and now we've got politics.
Politics. Ooh, that's how it all started.
Yeah. How would you define yourself politically? How would you define yourself?
Well, when I registered to vote, I registered as an independent because this is, I was really kind of following what my parents did. They were registered independents. They didn't want to be part of any party.
Right.
And so I thought, okay, that makes sense. I'll make up my own, because Mom said, you need to make up your own mind. So I did. And I got my, registered to vote, got my draft card. That was another story altogether. That was when they were drafting to go to Vietnam. And that first year, it looked like I was going to get drafted. And that first year that I voted, it was Nixon and who was it? Was that McGovern?
Was it 68?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 72.
72.
Nixon re-election.
You're right.
Yeah, Nixon McGovern?
Yes.
Okay, Nixon McGovern. And Nixon came out and said, we're not going to draft this year. We're not going to draft anymore. We're getting out. And that was it, man. He had my vote. So my first vote,
It's for Richard
I
Nixon.
voted for that worthless piece of shit, Richard Nixon, because I was worried about my own skin, which, that was a thing back then. And
I voted for Ronald Reagan his second
did you?
term.
Yeah. Well,
Over
I think
Walter Mondale.
Yeah. And so I kind of bounced around. I actually voted for Perot. I can't
Yeah.
remember if I voted for.
I voted for Perot.
I don't know.
Second political rally I
Yeah.
ever attended was a Perot.
Was it a Perot deal? And that was kind of a big deal because he was coming out. We thought he was going to be an independent. Turns out he was a nutcase.
Make mistakes.
A wealthy nutcase, but a nutcase. And I say nutcase. Maybe he wasn't. He was portrayed as a nutcase, and that's what hammered him back. But
He did some nutty things.
He was scaring a lot of people because he was pulling some votes from both sides.
I
He was
still
pulling
think
that
to this
independent
day, if he wouldn't have bopped out that first time,
Yeah,
George Bush the first was weak.
yeah,
Clinton was
Yeah.
not really trusted.
yeah,
He had an opening there.
yeah.
For me, politics, I guess, if you talk to my sister, who's I would put in the Republican camp, she would say, oh, yeah, he's liberal Democrat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tend to try to take good
Is
ideas.
that because you have really liberal views, or because you don't agree with her? You must be a liberal.
I don't
liberal.
lockstep in with the Republicans.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Again, followers.
I take good ideas wherever I could find them. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I personally find, especially since Obama's been president, but even starting before that there's less and less good ideas on the Republican side of things. As a matter of fact, right now there's no ideas. Their idea is to just be against whatever Obama's against.
Yeah.
So there's no ideas really to choose from.
Yeah.
Fox News isn't an idea factory. Fox News is a pure partisan thing that I think actually hurts Republicans.
Well, it's fair and balanced.
Yeah, right.
It's copy.
That's beautiful copywriting.
That's marketing. Marketing yet again,
But
folks.
it isn't good copywriting, because good copywriting, Michael, has an element of truth in it.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You capture the essence of a product, what
Okay.
it's really about, and there's an element of truth to it. Think different. In the famous Apple campaign, Steve Jobs thinks different. There was a truth there to that campaign. A lot of products don't have a truth, or they're given the writing is about something else.
Yeah.
ultimately good advertising rings true. So Fox
Okay.
and Balance, Fair and Balanced is a joke.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely a joke. But I mean, they have this.
The only thing that you could say is for looking at Republicans, they think it's balanced because they never had a program that just espoused Republican viewpoints.
Yeah.
And I would agree with them.
Yeah.
And the main, when there was 3 channels back in the day, there wasn't a Republican channel. But I don't think this is a Republican channel, Fox News. I think it's a road to nowhere for the Republican Party because it's created this little bubble of unreality.
Yeah.
And
The echo
and I,
chamber.
and
Well,
I
and I think what a good example of that was the last election in 12.
Yeah.
Watching, because I watched Fox News that night, and it was, and because I wanted to see what because I had been watching, and I'm still amazed at this, that website 538. What was his name?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, 538. We'll think of it in a minute. His name, and he's not, and it's just straight numbers, good math, good old fashioned 2 + 2 = 4 math, and Nate Silver.
Nate Silver. Yes.
This is Nate Silver's site, and he was looking at all the polls, and he had it pegged. You could watch it starting out about a month, how Obama was just pulling ahead, and he had it predicted down to what percentages, and he was doing not only that race, but all the races around the country, and I think he missed one. And he had the presidential race nailed down cold, and for anybody that was just watching that and really understood that 2 + 2 = 4, but then watching Fox and Karl Rove just kind of melt and deconstruct there, and because they had been believing what they were telling each
What
other
they
the
wanted
whole
to
time.
believe,
Yeah, they
not
believed
what
what they
was
wanted
real.
to be, what was real, and so that to me was a real good example, an incredible example of what Fox News was. Now, to her credit, Megan, what's her name? Was it Megan that was jumping all over Karl
Megyn
Rove?
Kelly, or-
Yeah, who I don't really like. She's kind of snide, and but my mother loves her anyway because she's attractive. I think she likes her. She thinks she's smart. She is smart, but that doesn't make her right.
Right.
Krauthammer's smart. He's a brilliant guy, but that doesn't make him smart all the time.
See, the problem I have with smart people,
I dare say Adolf Hitler was smart.
Right.
Smart enough to move the whole German.
Right. If
Yeah.
I can figure out what you're going to think on any issue because you're basically following party line, I just don't respect that.
Yeah, no.
I probably end up in the Democratic camp a
Yeah.
lot more, but that doesn't mean I'm.
Yeah.
I look at the teacher education area, which Democrats have a stronghold in the teacher unions, and that whole industry is messed up. It needs to be majorly overhauled. Now, that would be a Republican viewpoint,
Yeah.
or at least an old Republican viewpoint.
Yeah.
So I can take ideas
Oh, yeah.
or see things that are problems, and I don't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat.
Yeah. You're
answer
just
to
kind
it.
of you're an independent thinker.
Well, I would like to think that.
Yeah.
Other people will
No.
put me in other boxes.
Well, sure. That's up to them to put you
Right.
in other boxes. And I found it's typically the real conservative people that want to peg you as something else real quick.
Right.
They're
if you-
over here, and so they want to make you
And that
the
camp-
anti whatever it is they believe. They want
Right.
they want to quickly put you over here as somebody that doesn't believe.
Right.
Is a non-believer.
And what I like about and it's pretty drastic. I mean, you're, Chris Christie right now is what I say is very much a Republican. Is on the outside because he's not, he's not total lockstep with everything Republican. And that little circle is getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Gays aren't in, women aren't in for the most part.
Yeah.
Minorities definitely aren't in. And so
Just
it's
look at
just
the faces of the people that are serving.
it's just a
look at
shrinking,
the faces.
little circle and going down the drain, and Fox is taking them there, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
So then we talk about the clown car,
Yeah.
which
Clown car.
is going to get filled up here
Yeah, they're
as we get into the
gassing it up,
politics.
getting it ready. Yeah, clown cars where all the idiots show up looking for
become president of the United States.
Yeah, to become president of the United States. Typically, Well, you can have clown cars on both sides.
Yes.
You definitely do. It just happens to be that the clown car on the Republican side was a stretch limo.
A lot of people in there.
Yeah, a lot of people in there. Everybody, every 6 weeks, somebody else would pop their head out of the window, and you go, "That's our guy," and then you'd go, "Well, maybe not," because they would say something stupid. It was just, and it was great. It was good. It was great entertainment.
Well, it's fine entertainment, and we'll have that coming up here
Yeah.
in 2016. So that's fun to look forward to.
Yeah.
And we'll say why they're in the clown car. You have to
no.
earn your clown car
Yeah.
ticket. You just don't get in there because you're
Oh no.
a Republican or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
So that's it. Sex, politics, religion, and then we talk about whatever comes up, and that's what you'll find in the show. I know we got some episodes coming up. We talk about education.
Yep.
Talk about bad companies and good companies, and
Music we used to listen to and
music
why.
we used to listen to, and thought leadership.
Thought
Kinda wanna
leadership.
learn about thought leadership.
Yes,
Yeah.
we want to learn. You want to learn about thought leadership.
Because we are thought leaders.
Yes.
So glad to have you here.
Yep.
And look forward to having you visit us on future episodes.
Yeah. Check
Any-
us out on the
Yes, our
Facebook.
website
You got that there internet webs.
at carlandmike.net is our blog/website. iTunes, please give us a subscribe and a rate us, good or bad, and review us.
Tell us what you think.
Yeah. Come to our Facebook page at Carl and Mike on Facebook.
If you
Give me
think we need to
comments.
be talking more about our pets, please let us know.
Yes. What else? Twitter at Carl and Mike on
Yep.
Twitter.
Yep.
So you can find us all over the place. Just look for Carl and Mike.
Yep.
All right. Episode 1 in the can. How you feeling about that?
I feel good. I thought it went well.
Yeah. All right.
Now, if we can just continue to pay off.
That's a lot. That's a lot to ask for.
Nah, it's going to
No, we'll
evolve.
be-
It'll be good. All right. We'll see y'all later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.